Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the School of Science. My name is Luke and this is Arsenal vs Everton, the match preview. Now I did say I was going to do a match preview for Sheffield and then a post-match reaction for Arsenal, but I figured, you know what, last game of the season, I'm not going to be going to this game unfortunately. I was planning on going down to London, but a lot of stuff's just sort of gotten in the way unfortunately. That being, London being quite a distance, it being next to impossible to get to the stadium and everything. Well, not to the stadium, park anywhere near the stadium, as well as other factors and everything. So I've decided, you know what, I'm going to pass the tickets on to someone else. Hopefully they can enjoy it, enjoy the time there. And I'll just happily watch it at home. But yeah, over the course of this season, there's been a lot of highs and lows for Everton. I'm going to put that flat out. We've had the highs of unbeaten runs, like beating Chelsea at home, beating Newcastle at home, beating Liverpool at home, having an unbeaten run, having one of the best defences in the league. But we've also had our lows. Those being the likes of the points deduction, the likes of the 13 or 14 winless run, the high, but we've also had other highs as well, the likes of Tracky Dyche. We've had Jared Branthwaite absolutely blooming into an amazing player that he is, and he is attracting a lot of attention from other teams. We've had the likes of, Jessica Gay coming back into the squad and being the absolute anchor in the midfield. We've had the likes of Yusuf Chimiti, Beto, Calvert-Lewin, all of them doing their absolute best. We've had a lot of good things and bad things over the course of the season. And with it coming to an end, we can finally push that reset button and try and build for the next season. But for now, this is the final game, so we're going to talk about this game. So Arsenal right now, they have been doing an absolutely amazing job this season. So they're currently on a 5-win streak. Sorry, I'm just having a look at my prompter here. They've won 8 of their last 10. So they've drawn 1 and lost 1. One of those, the loss was to Aston Villa at Villa Park. And the draw was to Man City. I don't know whether that was home and away, sorry. Actually, no, but I do now. It is at home. And they're currently 2 points behind Manchester City. So what are Arsenal going to do? Let's put it brutally honest. They're going to come out and throw everything at Everton. And in all honesty, in Everton's case right now, this is pretty much a nothing game for us in particular. Because we can't go any higher in the league. We can't go any lower in the league. So right now, what is it to play for? That's going to be probably one of the things in a couple of the players' mindsets. I'm hoping, though, in Everton's case, we do still give them a fight, give them a good game, give the fans who are going to travel all the way from Liverpool down to London a decent game, because for us to just sort of roll over and let them absolutely walk all over us when we get battered 6, 7, 8-0, that's just not football. That's not how you play football. You don't see friendly games where players just happily coast along the pitch. You don't see people doing charity games where people happily coast along the pitch. You put effort in regardless. Now, for Sean Dyche, he's in a interesting situation because he right now could actually put the kids out. He could get a lot of the younger lads out and see who will actually meld into the squads and has got potential, and who he feels might be probably better loaned out for a season or two or sold outright because they're just not fitting his sort of mould. Because as things stand at the moment, it does sound like Sean Dyche will be staying with us for next season. So the final season of Goodison will be with Sean Dyche. So that's one to talk about in a later video, to tell you the truth. But here's what SofaScore have to say about it. This is their predicted lineup. So as we can see, we've gone for a 4-4-1-1, and Arsenal have gone for a 4-3-3. So for Everton, we've got Jordan Pickford in goal. We've got Ben Godfrey on the left, Jared Branthwaite, James Tarkowski, and Seamus Coleman across the back. We've got Dwight McNeil on the left, Amadou Onana, Justin Garner-Gate and James Garner, with Abdoulaye Doucouré and Dominic Calvert-Lewin near the top. Now, in my personal opinion, I'm looking at that right now, and I would probably say swap Onana for potentially, I would actually hazard it and do it more in the line of a 4-4-2. So I would bring Doucouré back and in Onana's place, so bring that up and have a false nine with Yusuf Chimiti, because I really want to see him feed Calvert-Lewin. This one's been mentioned to me, and I'm hungry to see that. Now, like I said, this is essentially a nothing game for Everton and Sean Dyche because, like I said, can't go up, can't go down. We can't go anywhere right now. We are basically stuck in 15th, which is good. It's a good improvement from what we've done last season. And if we were to take into account the 8-point deduction, I think we'd be actually 10th or 11th right now. So that's another one to take on. So for all his flaws, Sean Dyche has done an amazing job with Everton, considering Frank Lampard saved us from relegation. Sean Dyche saved us from relegation twice now. And if it wasn't for the point deduction, we would probably be pushing upwards. We would actually be going up and looking towards European specs. Now, the only thing is, as we know, the FA and PSR and financial fair play and everything like that, it's currently kneecapping the other 14, the big six and all them. They seem to be safe. They don't seem to be having much of an issue, maintaining their players, keeping their players, or getting new players in. But for the likes of, your Aston Villas, your Newcastles, your Evertons, those sorts of teams, unfortunately, have got to sell off some of their bigger players in order to, compete in the Premier League and not get more point deductions or get fines or hit with the luxury tax. But yeah, I am going off tangents, apologies. So, right, let's have a look at the Arsenal team. So they've got David Raya in goal. You've got, I'm sorry, I am completely blind. Right, Tomiyasu on the left, Gabriel in the middle with William Saliba. Got the two of them in my fantasy squad. They are really good players. Benjamin White, Declan Rice in the middle. Up midfield with Thomas Partey and Martin Odegaard, with Trossard, Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka run up top. So it's a very interesting lineup, and this is the other thing as well. Everton and Arsenal have both got an extremely great defensive record at the moment, and I do believe Arsenal have actually conceded the least amount of goals this season, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, taking that all into account, it's going to be a very interesting game, and it's one that we are definitely going to be interested to watch. Not for the fact that it's got massive stakes on the line for Everton, but there is massive stakes for Arsenal, because in theory, all it would take is for Man City to draw with West Ham, and for Arsenal to win by any goal margin, and they win the league. And I'm going to hold it out right here. I want to see Arsenal win. Bear in mind, Mikel Arteta is the manager for Arsenal. He was a massive Everton player for us at the time, and my heart still goes out for him. He's done an incredible job building the Arsenal team into what they are now. Since he's been doing the best amount of work since Arsene Wenger. They've had the likes of Unai Emery and all that, and unfortunately, they didn't really give him enough time. Now that Arteta's in, I think this is his 4th or 5th year with this Arsenal team, and he's built them into something rather formidable. So I wish them all the best of luck. I hope there is a result that helps Arsenal win this league. I mean, I think in theory, no. I was going to say if Man City lost and Arsenal drew, they could win, but no. Man City would still win with 1 point. So it has to be Arsenal beating us and Man City drawing or losing for them to take the title. Now, bear in mind, if Man City draw and Arsenal win, Arsenal will win on goal difference. But if Man City lose and Arsenal win, Arsenal will win with 1 point. So that is how tight the league is this year. The unfortunate thing is that with this league, as many people know, it's starting to become a little bit of a two-horse race. It's either going to be Man City or Arsenal. It's going to be Man City or Liverpool. It's going to be one of them, unfortunately, and it does need to change. They need to try and look at trying to level the playing field a little bit. Whether it be introducing spend caps as well as wage caps, say like you've got a limit of buying, you've got like, let's say, a £100 million limit per season, and you are limited to only spending given 100 grand a week to a player. Now, in all my personal opinion, that is way too much. Just the fact they have sponsorship deals, they have other benefits as well. So if they're a striker and they score, they get a nice little lump sum. If they're a defender and they keep a clean sheet, they get a nice lump sum. If they're a midfielder and they get assists or a clean sheet, they get a nice lump sum. All these sorts of things pile on top of it. So you've got your top-notch sort of players, so people who contribute highly to the game. They don't just get their weekly wage, they also get a big chunk on top of that. So I do think a cap does need to be brought in, because this can't keep going on. What's going to end up happening, and you can already see this with a lot of the Premier League teams, in order to fund these players, they've got to go other ways to try and, fund them. So ticket prices get more expensive, shirts get more expensive, hospitality gets more expensive, food, drinks, All these sorts of things get more expensive, all in the name of trying to put money in the back pockets of these players. And when you get some of them who just don't put a shift in, it really does hurt the fans for the fact that you've got players who will not put 100% on a pitch. And the fans are almost quite literally paying them to do that, to only put 50% in or to put only 10% into their effort. So there needs to be something put in place. I think a performance review would be also something that could be beneficial. So let's say, for argument's sake, a player has a 10 out of 10 game. He would get his weekly wage and then a chunk on top of that if they play an X amount. So their contract would have like a specific amount. So we need you to play like a 7 out of 10 sort of performance for you to get your pay slip. If you dip below that, this will be reduced by an amount. If you get, I don't know, let's say, for argument's sake, a 2 out of 10 performance, you play so poor, you give away so many goals or you give away so many fouls, you get yellow cards and red cards, then you just don't get paid. You are basically become a liability, so you don't get paid for that particular week. Now, that's me. That's my personal opinion on it. And like I've said, I'm no expert in this sort of field. I'm just a football fan and a massive Evertonian who is very passionate about what they like. So my opinions could be askew or aimed in the wrong direction. But that's it. It's just an opinion. So yeah, guys, thank you all very much for watching. I'm just going to bring this right back to the main camera. That was not the main camera. So before I finish things up, I just want to say again, big thank you for Rob, who runs Forever Everton. This is one of his designs. He, I believe, has actually passed one of these on to Dan Myers as well, who was the architect for the new Everton Stadium. So if you want anything like this, or any of his artwork, canvases, anything like that, go over to his website. It's in the link. It's down in the description below. I think his Twitter's on there as well. And also, if you are watching this and you want to get this sort of stuff, and you know what, as an extra little perk, there is also a 20% discount down there below, and it's under the Science TV 20. So if you put that in at the checkout, you will receive 20% off. So you can get one of these for a little bit cheaper. And I'll be honest, it is a really nice shirt. It's great quality cotton. This has probably been through the wash now about 5 to 6 times. And it's still holding really strong. There is no cracking, fraying. There's no removal of any of the fabric. So it is definitely made with quality and care. And Rob does a lot of this all himself as well. He actually does this from his place of residence. I'm not sure whether it's a place of residence or place of business, but he does all this himself. He makes the canvases, he prints them, he ships them all out. It's not like he's designed this stuff, passed it on to a third party, and they ship it out. He does this all himself. So you're supporting a massive Evertonian and someone who is literally getting his hands dirty to make your thing. So again, if you like any of the stuff that I've got here or on his Twitter page, go to his website, buy the products, use our coupon code, and just enjoy it. But in any case, guys, again, if you liked it, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to suggest anything, put it in the comment section below. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Up the fucking toffees and peace.